married to Dave. We have 3 kids, Morgan, Tyson, and Mason, and we live east of Fort Dodge. Dave and I farm together, and in my spare time, I am a personal trainer in Fort Dodge, where I have my own suite. So, as we have listened to Rick and I'm going to space the other gentleman's name, but I know him. Andy, thank you. You've heard what we, as the American farmer, can do, need to do, and as a personal trainer, I am very passionate about our human health. And my question to you is, does the current state of our country's health concern you?
Yes. Yep.
Why? Rarely is it
Poison.
poison food. Yeah. Anybody else?
Fonda, can you put that a little bit closer?
I don't know how to say it.
Maybe I should just hold it.
That's good.
Okay, we'll try this.
That's right.
All right. All right, well, here is some of the top concerns and diseases that are facing our country. And for me, as a personal trainer, I see these people all the time. I beg you now, if this doesn't affect you, let's work on being proactive instead of reactive. Because if we're proactive, we can eliminate, if not minimize, these things. If you wait, the road to recovery takes more than 30% more time. Why do we wait? Why do we wait until a disease knocks on our door before we make something a priority? The first thing I'm going to talk about is the #1 killer of the American people, cardiovascular disease. What does that look like? Everybody says they want to blame it on their genetics. It's my genetics. I have to own that. It's what my parents did, my genes. Is it really? If you look at this, you can see that there's things that are non-modifiable, but then there are things that are modifiable. If you count those, blue versus green, guess what? You're in charge. You have more opportunities to affect your health in a positive way than what your genes have for you. You know, your age, your gender, your genetic factors, some things, your race. But everything over there in the green side you can affect. Makes a difference. What does that look like? #2, cancer. How many of you have family members that have been affected by cancer? Maybe you yourself. Maybe your spouse. My sister, at the young age of 40, was diagnosed with breast cancer. 7 small children. She's still here today. Thank God for that. Before she was done being diagnosed, my sister-in-law was diagnosed. Before my sister-in-law was healed, my best friend from church was diagnosed with breast cancer. All of these women, young, with children, with family, trying to raise them, so sick they couldn't get out of bed. What are we doing as the American people? What are we doing as families? Oxidative stress is the root of cancer. When you look at all of those things in the green are pushing cancer. Where do we get it? It's our lifestyle, it's our diet, it's our exercise. Do we do it? When you stop in the morning because you're running behind and you stop at Casey's, Quick Star, Quick Trip, whatever your easy, convenient spot is to stop, what are you grabbing? So, as you think about what you're feeding your body, how these things affect you, think of the children that you're raising. Think about the habits that you're instilling in them. Are you instilling health? Are you instilling the fact that it is important to take care of you? You guys are all farmers here. If you're not investing in your health, and you're spending more money investing in the ground that you're there, if you're gone, does it matter? Does it? I know there's only a few women in here, but most of you are married, grandparents. I'm a mom. My dad's still living. Today's his 83rd birthday. If you would have asked me 7 years ago if he was going to be here, I'd have told you no. He is healthier today, feeling better today than he was 7 years ago. You can change your habits. You can change your lifestyle. It's up to you. COPD, this is something that I have not had a lot of knowledge on. This would be the one that I know the least amount on. But what I do know is it leaves you struggling to breathe. It leaves you coughing. It leaves you feeling exhausted. It's your lungs. Your lungs are everything. You breathe in, you breathe out. Without your lungs, it doesn't really matter. We have this thing called the obesity epidemic. Guys, why? Look back to when you guys were kids. Look back to when your grandparents were kids. Look at where we're going. What's changed? It's pretty sad. My generation is the first generation that is going to bury our kids if we don't change what we're doing. I don't know how old all of you are, but I know you're never supposed to ask a woman her age, but I'll tell you my age, just so you can put it into perspective. I'm 42 years old. So if you're in your 40s, if we don't change our lifestyles, we will bury our kids. I don't know about you. I have no desire to bury my daughter or either one of my sons. It's not in it. That's not why we procreate. It's so that we have to bury them. This is where we're headed. This is 2025. You're all quiet. What are you thinking?
That it's true.
It is true. And it's sad. Childhood obesity. This is why we're going to bury our kids. What are we allowing our kids to eat? Larry said his grandkids snack on goldfish. They're not allowed in my house. My daughter now is old enough to grocery shop, so she'll buy them randomly. But I don't buy them for my kids. We don't eat cereal in the morning. And I'm not saying cereal is the poison, but we don't eat cereal in our house. Everything that you look at on the back of the label, and I teach this to my clients all the time, sorry, I'm struggling, is if you can't pronounce it, your body cannot process it or digest it. Think about that. When you look at what you purchase to bring into your family, or your wife purchases, whoever does the shopping, you can't pronounce half of the things, actually closer to 98% of them, that are in the ingredients label. And yet we're putting it in our body, asking our body to process it. With this epidemic and our children on the rise, we are fighting diabetes. You know, back when I was younger, you didn't hear very many people that had diabetes. Now, it's raving in our youth. My youngest son is in 7th grade. He has 3 kids in his class that are on a diabetic pump. Do you know? I forget the exact amount, but we are the wealthiest country and we are the sickest country. We spend more on pharmaceutical meds and health insurance. And can I be honest? Why do we call it health insurance? Because if you're healthy, you're not going to the doctor and you don't need that insurance. So let's be honest. Let's name it what it is. Let's call it sick care. Let's get up on our feet. Let's make some noise. And let's let some people know why. Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? Why are we allowing them? I mean, you pay insurance. I don't know how many of you. We all pay insurance. It's so expensive. If we were just proactive, work towards this, you wouldn't need it. And look at what diabetes does. Look at what these young kids are dealing with. Their stroke rates go up, heart attack rates go up, even older people. I mean, I don't know if anybody's experienced neuropathy. I have clients with neuropathy. They want to cut their feet off. It's painful. But we're feeding our children, and we're not taking care of ourselves, and we're not putting our health first. And so here we are. The diabetic industry is on the rise. The disease is on the rise. What about glaucoma? Cardiacs. I just have a new gentleman started with me as a client. He's got glaucoma. There's certain exercises we can't do, and he loses his vision. He's fighting for his vision. We all take things for granted until we don't have it. He's not that old. What causes all of this? What causes all of these diseases? Genetics. I don't believe it. I've been in the industry for, I know not very long, considered most of you have farmed way longer than I'm old, I understand that. But it's our lifestyle and it's in our environment. And Rick said, when you're around negative people, get them out of your life. Find the people that fit you, find the people who build you up. Be in a room with people who are better than you, so you have somebody to look up to and strive for and work for. Your genetics loads the gun. Your lifestyle pulls the trigger. Think about that for a minute. We're born what we're born with. You're born as a man or a woman. The reason that they tell you it's genetics is because 9 times out of 10, you do what your mom and dad did. Your lifestyle, you're in charge, you get to control that. It's your diet. When you stop at Quick Star in the morning, Casey's, you name it, you walk in, you grab your coffee, you grab your 32-ounce pop for later in the day, you grab your piece of pizza, and you have to have something sweet. The average American diet, everything that you pick up is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. If you're based on a 2,000 calorie diet and you just ate 3 out of those 5 things I listed, you have consumed your calories in one meal. Welcome, your day is over. Yeah, it is true, isn't it, Bachi? And that's the start to most people's day. What do you do for dinner? Back when I grew up, we didn't get to eat out. It was homemade, it was homegrown. If it wasn't from my mom's garden, it was from a local farmer. My uncles had livestock, we had eggs. We don't plan, I said that wrong. We rely on everybody else to feed us. You want fast, you want easy, you want convenient. Another favorite saying with my clients is, if it can sit on a shelf, it's going to create a shelf on you. Fully processed foods create a shelf. Your body can't utilize it, and you get heavier. With all of that unutilized food, we get fat. That's where we have this obese epidemic happening. Your fat stores toxins. Toxins create disease. The story keeps going. Water. Bachi's here. We have the system in our home. We love it. We can tell the difference. It's important. Quit drinking the Monsters and the Red Bulls and everything else that gives you energy. It will put you in your grave faster than you want to be. Exercise. I know we're all farmers. We're all busy. But your body could use a minimum of just a 20-minute walk. Just 20 minutes. We all have the same hours in the day. It's what we choose to do. So instead of sitting and scrolling and being sedentary, to unwind, get off the couch, get out of your work chair, and go for just a walk. You don't have to come see me or somebody like me to be healthy. If you need accountability, I'm there for you. Sleep or no sleep. Your body works on rejuvenating itself and helping you when you sleep. If you're not getting sleep, Your body isn't able to process everything that goes on, and you wake up feeling sluggish the next morning. You can either be this little dude over here on the left running a marathon and still going, or you can be in a nursing home.
Bad bit.
And I can tell you what, if you think health is expensive, go visit Friendship Haven or any other nursing home, and you'll realize being a little bit proactive and taking 20 minutes out of your day is a lot cheaper than $10,000 a month to put yourself in assisted living. Think about that. People tell me all the time, the reason I'm here today is Larry introduced LifeVantage to me 2.5 years ago, and it changed my family. I've shared it with others, and it's changing their family. I told you my dad turns 83 today. It changed his life. Products are expensive. They will change your life, and it's nothing like $10,000 a month. It's your choice. Oxidative stress. I heard Andy talk about it. I heard Rick talk about it. You're worried about the oxidative stress that is in your farm ground and in your land, and I agree with you. It is important. I'm also going to tell you it's important in your body. Everybody has oxidative stress. Do you feed it? Do you make it better, or do you make it worse? It affects everybody differently. We talked about it. You know, is it in your genes? What's the number one other growing thing that you hear about? Parkinson's, ALS. All of those things are neural, because our brain isn't able to work from our brain to our gut, because our gut is ruined because of what we've all eaten. And I heard Rick talk about it, heard Andy talk about it, the lady that was just on the video talks about it. Our gut isn't able to process the foods we're eating because we're giving our food, our body unprocessable foods. This links to all of that. When your brain to your gut access is shut off, you become nutrient deficient. Why are you hungry all the time? LifeVantage, Protandim, thanks to Dr. Joe McCord, who spent over 40 years in a lab working to help something that is natural, that doesn't have a list of side effects when you take it. This is it. This reduces your oxidative stress in your body by 40% in 30 days. 5 natural ingredients that we get from the ground. Collagen. Everybody says, it's for the women. I don't need it. I don't worry about my hair, skin, and my nails. I'm here to tell you, it's more than just hair, skin, and nails. It is your brain. It's the lining of your esophagus. It's the lining in your stomach. You hear people say, I've got leaky gut. It will help rebuild the lining in your gut. We're the activation company. We turn on your body to make its own collagen again. We help maintain what's there, and we restore what is lost. It feeds your ligaments, your joints, and your tendons. I had a client, 60-some years old, break her wrist. Doctor told her, you'll be in a sling or in a cast for at least 6 weeks. We'll take it off and we'll relook. 6 weeks, her wrist was completely healed. 62 years old. She's on the activated collagen. GLP-1. Does anybody know what that is? I see people shaking their head, other people looking at me confused. If I tell you Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, do you know what I'm talking about now? There's a lot more head shaking. I heard him talk about, Rick talk about synthetic. Why are we putting something in our bodies that is synthetic when God gave our bodies the ability to make our own GLP-1 hormone? I heard him say it, when you put things in your body or you put stuff on the crop and the crop no longer, needs to do what its job is and it shuts things off. This can be good in the right situation with the right doctor if you have other issues that are not able to be fixed. But this is what it has turned out to be. They have taken it from what it was meant to be and are now targeting our obese people. So when you look at that, the average obesity rate in the US is 40%. 19% of our children 2 to 17 are overweight or obese. 1 in 10 adults is severely obese. And if you happen to be normal weight, good luck. You will fall in between the cracks. GLP-1 hormone is something in your body. As we age, just like everything else, it does slow down. The more processed, the more stress, the more all of those things that happens, it does slow down. But it does help you feel more satisfied. It does decrease your appetite. It runs in the pancreas. It pumps your insulin up, takes your glycogen down, and with your stomach, it helps with the slowing of the emptying of the stomach. That's what your GLP-1 is supposed to do. This was the original purpose of what they came out with when you looked back at the other screen of Ozempic, Mounjaro, and Wegovy. It was for people with diabetes. Those people's pancreas already wasn't working. That's why they're on insulin. That's what those injections were caused to do. But when they started giving it to the people with diabetes, what they found out was it helped those people lose weight. So instead of continuing to give it to the people who had issues that their body wasn't able to do, we started giving it to everybody else who was overweight. So when you look at this, this is exactly what I just shared, but it's also from the brain to the gut access. When you shut that off and you tell your body it doesn't need to do that anymore, what do you think that's going to happen to the people who have been on this? Because you know what? If your doctor hasn't been honest with you, this isn't a lifetime fix. You don't get to be on these shots the rest of your life. I have clients who have chosen this, and I always tell people it's your journey, it's your choice. I totally respect that. Once they chose it, I said, okay, we're on this together. I'm still your trainer. We're going to make the best of it. I have a metabolic scale at my place. Through their journey, we have lost weight. But do you know what weight that was? Does anybody have an idea?
Bones.
Bones, okay. What'd you say? Muscle. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Our muscle mass crashed and our fat shot straight up. Do you remember what I told you just a little while ago? What does your fat do? Correct. Holds on to toxins. So what do those people just end up being? They ended up being skinny fat, full of toxins. When you lose your muscle mass, you lose your metabolism. That's why you see people who are just total muscle built or very active and have lots of muscle and they can get away with eating whatever they want for the most part. That is because your muscle is your metabolism. So what do you think what's going to happen to this person when insurance quits paying for it? Because insurance made it affordable to get on it because they were pre-diabetic, right? I know somebody in this situation. $25 a month to get you on it. What's that?
Drug dealers.
Correct. He said drug dealers, just in case somebody didn't hear him in the back. But $25 to get started. A year into it, doctor said, you're no longer pre-diabetic. Insurance is no longer going to cover this for you. And she said, what am I going to do? The doctor didn't have an answer for her. I'm not saying every doctor is like this. Physicians are needed. But what I'm telling you is, be your own advocate. Because at that point, with raising 2 kids, she could no longer afford her semaglutide shot because it was over $500 a month. LifeVantage has come up with a natural GLP-1. We're an activated company. We do things to help your body the way God intended it to work. We have a way to help you if you're diabetic, if you struggle with weight, if you've tried everything in the book, we have an opportunity for you. Our natural GLP-1 will increase your own GLP-1 hormone by 140% in 12 weeks. It's proven. We've had studies, we've been working on it for more than 2 years. We have proof. Everybody that tried it, their GLP-1 increased by 140%. What I can also tell you is that you don't lose muscle. How cool is that to be able to lose weight and not lose muscle mass? It also helps with your hunger, your brain to gut access, just like the semaglutides, but it's not an artificial. It's not taking it over, it's getting your body to work again. So I'm gonna read a couple things because, whoops, I'm sorry, here we go. I couldn't, I know I wasn't gonna remember them all. I apologize, sorry for that. I want to leave you with just a couple hard questions for yourself, and I want to leave you with a couple sad facts, and then I'm going to ask you a question at the end. As we look to our food sources, and as we look to Big Pharma, and we look at how we're farming, I want you to ask yourself, are you ready to change? Are you ready to make a difference? I already told you our generation is going to be the first generation to bury our kids if we don't change. The top 4 prescriptions in the United States given out are to treat stomach issues. Do you know that we lose 230,000 people a year to stomach issues? There's no explanation. How about if you're diagnosed before 40 with diabetes? Do you know that those people will live an average 13 years less than their peers? Think about these children in my son's class who are on insulin pumps already at the age of 12. You have a choice today to change how your family story is written. Are you choosing to be proactive? Are we growing our own food? Are we feeding our livestock? Are we supporting a local farmer? We have the ability to change, and are we farming to the best of our ability? Are you concerned of how this is going to affect your children? Remember, it's not the genetics that writes the story. You have the opportunity to not pull the trigger. Let's work on making America healthy again. Thank you.